Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about Video Violence, the Snuff Collection. This is a partner label release from Vinegar Syndrome from the TerrorVision brand. It is both Video Violence 1 and 2 in this very thick sort of slipcover thing. Comes with this other cover, and both Video Violence 1 and 2 on a disc apiece with reversible artwork, which has the first movie artwork and then the second movie artwork in there as well. So people were really excited that this was coming out. It's got a 3,000 run limit from TerrorVision, and I hadn't seen the first movie in a long time. I remember really enjoying it, and I just recently, a moment ago, got finished watching both of them back to back, which I think is really how they're meant to be played. So the first movie is about this video store owner who receives a unmarked videotape in his return box, and in it is a snuff film. And there's a much bigger story at hand, but there's someone getting killed in the film. He brings the sheriff back to his job to look at the tape. His coworker is gone, or his employee, I should say, and it's a little weird. And he goes to show him the tape, and there's nothing on the tape. Or there's, I think, a kid's birthday party on the tape. There's something else on the tape. So the sheriff doesn't believe him. Then he gets another tape, and it happens again. There's another snuff film of someone getting murdered. And he brings the tape to the sheriff's office, and there's a mishap, and the tape gets deleted. And again, the sheriff thinks he's a nut and doesn't believe him. So him and his wife are sort of trying to figure out what's going on. Are these murders real? Why are they getting these snuff films? What's happening? It has this nice little charm to it because it's from 1987, the first film. The second film is from 1988. I'll get to that in a moment. And it has this nice little charm to it because it takes place in a video store. There's no cell phones, of course. You know, the clothing and the look of everyone is very 80s. Everyone acts a little different than they do now, obviously. And it's just a fun little movie. It's a shot on video film, so it has that VHS look to it, but I was actually very impressed at how well it looked, or I guess how much they, restored it. As I showed, each movie is on their own disc, so there's more room for the movies to breathe, so to speak, with their bit rate. The audio was okay. I thought some of it was a little low, but for the most part, you could pretty much hear everything. And of course, there's subtitles for the things you really can't hear too well when some of the audio levels are a little higher with maybe the music versus the dialogue. The movie's really fun. My buddy Brian and I really enjoyed it, and it captures a very cool set in time in the 80s with video rental stores being popular and snuff films being a sort of legend, mystique kind of thing, taboo that were they real? Were they not real? Faces of death, stuff like that. They even show some videotapes off and posters in the background. April Fool's Day comes to mind. And at one point, a customer comes into the video store and he goes, "I want that movie with the chainsaw." And you think he's going to pull out Texas Chainsaw Massacre and say, "Oh, here it is. It's whatever, $3. He pulls out Pieces, which was a very funny homage because Pieces is something I reviewed recently, and they talk about Texas Chainsaw on the cover. So it's kind of funny that they showed off the movie Pieces. So there's some gore, there's a decent amount of sleaze, there is some mean-spirited stuff in the film, but overall it doesn't take itself too seriously. It has a goofiness to it. So overall, I thought Video Violence was a good movie. It's a solid 7 out of 10 if you like shot on video, sort of horror, kind of mystery, throwback type of things. I really enjoyed it. Video Violence 2 wasn't as good for me or my friend Brian. It is very self-aware. It's more satirical, and it takes the ending of Video Violence, without saying too much, I don't want to give too much away because there's a bigger plot in Video Violence, and it runs with it. And now the characters who are doing the murders in the Snuff film have their own TV show. And they're broadcasting kind of like America's Funniest Home Videos, where they're killing people on air and people are submitting videos of them killing people and they're showing the videos, and there's some nudity, some topless scenes, but the movie just doesn't have the charm of the first film. I don't know if it's because you're not sure what is going to happen or because it's set in a video store, so it has that kind of old-fashioned 80s, early 90s charm to it. But the second one doesn't have that. The second one was shorter. It was, I think the first movie is an hour and 38 minutes. The second film was like an hour and 20 something. And it just runs itself out really quickly. The two main characters are kind of annoying and grating. And after a little while, the same stuff kind of keeps happening. They keep laughing, and their laughs are sort of annoying. And by the end of the film, you're like, what the hell? How is this going to end? The ending was really cool. There's a kind of twist little ending, and then it spins around again. And I thought the special effects were good at the end. And there's some good violence and gore and stuff, just like the first film. But the story was really lacking. And I felt like they stretched out a very minimalistic idea in the second film to over an hour, and it just didn't really work. So where I would give the first film like a 7, and I think if you're a shot-on-video fan, you'll probably really enjoy it. The second one probably gets more of like a 5. It's okay, and it's fun to see some of the characters from the first film as sort of a companion piece, but it doesn't really hold weight on its own. And if you didn't see the first film, you will not appreciate the second film at all, in my opinion. So overall, I thought the Video Violence Snuff collection was good. I enjoyed it. I would definitely go back to the first one. The second one, maybe, but only after I watch the first one again and get into it again. It has a bunch of extras. So there's interviews from the directors and actresses, special effects interviews, a documentary called The Shot on Videos That Wouldn't Die, archival and new commentary, radio promo with H.G. Lewis and Tim Ritter. H.G. Lewis had done like Wizard of Gore and the Gore Girls, and Tim Ritter's most famous is Killing Spree. And I think, yeah, the special features on the back of the second disc are the same. So I don't know if the special features run over into both discs or possibly are split between both discs, but it's a cool little set. Definitely a nice little throwback to the video rental days. I enjoyed the little box and stuff. I'm not a slipcover or box art guy, so if this was cheaper, I would have appreciated that just to have it like this. But it's limited. My friend Andy, thank you Andy, gave me his partner label coupon and ordered this for me, so it was $10 off. Still expensive though, so it's pretty pricey. But overall, I think it's a nice little package, and if you enjoy the Video Violence series, you really can't do any better than this package here. So I would recommend it for shot-on-video enthusiasts. If you're not into shot-on-video with gore and cheesiness and horror, then you probably won't appreciate it. But most people know what this is when they're into the underground B shot-on-video horror stuff. So that's my little 2 cents on the Video Violence Snuff collection. Overall, I liked it. I much prefer the first to the second. Let me know, guys, if you've seen these and what you thought of them. Thank you guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.